How to woo a woman. Find, date and marry the woman of your dreams. Introduction. In the last 2 centuries, women have gotten more and more independent. Gone are the days when women have no say about issues that directly affects them, like whom to date or marry or whether to go to school or not. The days of arranged marriages are forever gone in most societies. Even in societies where it still holds, the women's resistance to arranged marriage is hugely increasing daily, as they are getting more aware. As more women become independent, successful, and enlightened, some men find it difficult to seek the affection or love of the woman they desire. As suggested in the name woman, a woman should be wooed and a man should be seduced. Wooing is one of the jobs that a man must do at least once in his lifetime. A man that does not want to do this job should not expect to be loved or be in a romantic relationship with a woman. Strategizing is a good way of getting a desired outcome. Seeking the affection or love of a woman is no different, because with proper strategy and careful planning, you can effortlessly melt the heart of the hardest woman. Men think that getting a woman a gift is all it takes, but it takes more than that. A woman wants to be appreciated and loved for who she is, not for what you can get from her. Every man wants to know the secret of attracting women. Most men make it harder than it is. Every day, I hear men complain about how complicated women are. The fact is that not all women are complicated. These men are just making a mountain out of a molehill. In this book, I will tell you what kind of women there are and what they want. Knowing what women want helps you plan and strategize on how to attract them. I will also tell you how to woo the woman of your dreams. Let's get started. Types of women. You must first find the right woman before you can strategize or plan to get her. True, there are loads of women out there, and finding the right woman may not always be easy, especially in an era when the female gender is typically self-centered and empowered to exploit the male population. You have to, however, sort for your possible mate among a list of available women. In sorting, seek for compatibility instead of physical appearance. The common error most men make is overlooking compatibility in favor of the physical appearance of the girl. If you succeed in getting a lady that is attractive, that you are not compatible with, after a short while your relationship will be disastrous. So if you are searching for a serious relationship, a thorough filtering is expected. The right women are out there, but the right women are becoming scarce in today's world. So if you can find one of them, act fast, because every guy is looking for the right woman. Keep this in mind and keep your eyes open. She'll come your way faster than you expect. How do you know the right woman? The right woman. The charmer. Charmers are usually snapped out of the dating market so fast, because she is an optimistic woman, comfortable with her life, always bubbly and fun to be around. She is an authentic person without any falsehood in her. She is appreciative, considerate, and enjoys your company. If you can find one, you have got a real treasure in your hands, so do all you can to get her. Miss Equality. Miss Equality is a true feminist, not one of the radical man-haters, or the hypocritical pseudo-feminists who think that equality is an equal rights and an equal salary and that a man has to pay for them. This Miss Equality genuinely likes her man, and understands that equality means a 50-50 partnership in the relationship, and is more than willing to shoulder their half of the relationship and dating expenses just because it is the right thing to do. Miss Best Friend. Miss Best Friend is another joy to be around. She is the kind of woman you are totally in tune with. You like the same things, watch the same TV shows, and enjoy visiting the same places. You can spend 5 minutes with her and think you have known her for years. She is always on your side, laughs at your jokes, and calls you just to say hi because she genuinely misses you. She's great just to hang with. A word of warning, though, with Miss Best Friend, you have to make your sexual interest known from day one, because if she gets it into her head that you are going to be just friends, it's almost impossible to change her mind. Miss Frank. Miss Frank knows how to communicate. With Miss Frank, there are no games, no expecting men to be mind readers, no behavior based on ridiculous, female-biased advice from articles in Cosmo or The Rules. Miss Frank will pick up the phone and ask you out. She will do what she says she will do, not say one thing and do just the opposite. Although she may be blunt at times, at least you'll know where you stand, and you'll never have to spend hours trying to decode contradictory or emotion-based female behavior. Miss Independent. Miss Independent is a good woman to find if you don't have a lot of time to invest in a relationship or you're the type of guy who needs a lot of space. Miss Independent has a real life of her own and is happily going in her own positive direction. She's the type who wants a man in her life, but doesn't need a man in her life. And she certainly isn't looking for men to solve all her problems or blame when things don't go her way. Miss Faithful. Miss Faithful never cheats on you or constantly be on the lookout for a better deal. When you go out, she won't be scanning the room for other guys, but will keep her attention focused on you, the man in her life. She's also more apt to stick around if times get tough. Miss No Pressure. Miss No Pressure has no hidden agenda about forcing your hand in marriage. She's happy just to be with you. So you don't get any, "Where's our relationship going?" or hint dropping about the future or window shopping at the jewelry store. She may want to get married at some point, but she's in no hurry. She thinks that if it happens, it will just happen naturally. Miss Secure. Miss Secure accepts herself as she is and is comfortable with her good points, as well as her bad. And she feels the same about you. Miss Secure doesn't need constant attention to shore up a sagging ego, has tons of self-esteem, and is always going in her own positive direction. Miss Personality. Miss Personality is a great find. She might not be up for first prize in a beauty contest, although she could be, but her intelligence, wit, and sparkling presence just light up the room, and she draws people like a magnet. Her personality is so charming that it easily overcomes any deficiencies she might have in the looks department, just because she's so great to be with. Miss Low Maintenance. The rarest of the rare, Miss Low Maintenance is the most atypical of modern women. She really doesn't care about how much money you have. She just likes you for yourself and not for what she can take from you. She's likely to be a true feminist and will gladly pay her share of the dating expenses. If you can find Miss Low Maintenance, hang on to her for dear life. The wrong woman. Miss Complicated. Miss Complicated is the kind of girl who always gets in with the boys. She is so easily attracted to the opposite sex. She is friendly and very passionate, but when you ask her out, she stalls and never gives you a direct answer. She asks you to call her, but when you call her, she will not answer the phone. She never makes the right decision. She loves to make commitments that she never keeps. She likes to try and play mind games. Miss What she wants, she gets. She is flirty, ambitious, and spoilt. However, she is very attractive, sexy, and exquisite. She uses her beauty to get what she wants. She uses her sex appeal to manipulate men. She uses her luscious personality to entangle and trap men. She might be playing the devil's advocate. She is gorgeous but dangerous. She tempts and she flirts just to get what she wants. She knows how to control men and she knows how to play them. She can make a man to fall in love with her. She can make you cry, and basically she can make you into something that you will regret at the end. She's the controlling type. Miss Gold Digger. Miss Gold Digger does not want to live without the luxury in life. She loves jewelries, designer clothes, expensive cars, and she can sleep with a man older than her by 50 years just because he has money. Money is the deciding factor in whom she dates. She is described as femme fatale. She spends a lot on herself because her looks are her greater assets. Miss Fault Finder. She is very hard to please and always finds fault in everything that you do. She is never wrong because she never addresses her own mistakes. She constantly reminds you of your mistakes. She can pick a fight with you anywhere. She doesn't care what people think about her and always want to have the last say. Miss Unstable. She constantly changes her mind. She is inconsistent, unpredictable, and never knows what she wants. Her mind, like the weather, changes constantly, and she constantly has mood swings. She can be attached to you one moment and detached the next moment. Her emotions are unpredictable. Miss Know-It-All. She knows everything. She knows about the latest happening in the world of politics. She knows all the actors and actresses in Hollywood. She likes current events. She will become your walking newspaper. She is more interested in your achievement than in you. She questions your thoughts to the point of being provocative. Her single-minded enthusiasm will irritate. She always pursues on intellectual matters. She likes to debate and never stop until everybody will say, "She is smart." She will tell you about your own duties, responsibilities, and your own rights. She will discuss the matter as being the experts. In terms of the law, don't bother to bug her. She will definitely talk about it without an end. She's the nerdy type. She doesn't want to welcome corrections. She gets irritated if someone will question her about something she didn't know. She wants to know and she will know. She has the ability of knowing and she has this instinct to know. Now you know the right kind of women and the wrong kind of women make the right choice before the wooing. What women want. Every man has been in this situation at some point in his life. Asking the simple question, what does she want from me? Every man should be able to answer this question before trying to woo a woman. First thing first, understand that there are different women with different psychological makeup and different wants in a relationship. But most women look for certain things in a relationship that will ensure happiness and success. A quick look at these points below will give you an insight into a woman's expectations. Satisfaction. A woman needs satisfaction. Mental satisfaction, this differs from person to person. Physical satisfaction and emotional satisfaction. Remember that women are emotional creatures and they need lots of attention and love. Commitment. A woman wants you to be willing to share your life with her and to let her be who she chooses to be. She does not want to be taken for a ride and she hates to be dumped after a while. She hates men that are commitment phobic. Honesty. A woman can't stand lies and infidelity in a relationship any more than a man does. Honesty and truthfulness from her partner will make her secure and relaxed. A partner who is a cheat will only ruin the relationship. Sexual satisfaction. A woman wants a man that knows how to keep the excitement and the flames of desire burning. She wants a man who is physical compatible. Every man has been in this situation at some point in his life. Asking the simple question, what does she want from me? The answer is simple. Time. A woman wants time with you. She wants to know that you want to spend time with her, and she wants to know that you are thinking about her when you are with her. She wants your undivided attention. I came across a tale that might help you understand what a woman wants. A Knight's Tale. Young King Arthur was ambushed and imprisoned by the monarch of a neighboring kingdom. The monarch could have killed him but was moved by Arthur's youth and ideals. So, the monarch offered him his freedom, as long as he could answer a very difficult question. Arthur would have a year to figure out the answer and, if after a year he still had no answer, he would be put to death. The question, what do women really want? Such a question would perplex even the most knowledgeable man, and to young Arthur, it seemed an impossible query. But, since it was better than death, he accepted the monarch's proposition to have an answer by year's end. He returned to his kingdom and began to poll everyone. The princess, the priests, the wise men, and even the court jester. He spoke with everyone, but no one could give him a satisfactory answer. Many people advised him to consult the old witch, for only she would have the answer. But the price would be high, as the witch was famous throughout the kingdom for the exorbitant prices she charged. The last day of the year arrived and Arthur had no choice but to talk to the witch. She agreed to answer the question, but he would have to agree to her price first. The old witch wanted to marry Sir Lancelot, the most noble of the knights of the Round Table and Arthur's closest friend. Young Arthur was horrified. She was hunchbacked and hideous, had only one tooth, smelled like sewage, made obscene noises, etc. He had never encountered such a repugnant creature in all his life. He refused to force his friend to marry her and endure such a terrible burden. But Lancelot, learning of the proposal, spoke with Arthur. He said nothing was too big of a sacrifice compared to Arthur's life and the preservation of the Round Table. Hence, a wedding was proclaimed and the witch answered Arthur's question thus. What a woman really wants, she answered, is to be in charge of her own life. Everyone in the kingdom instantly knew that the witch had uttered a great truth and that Arthur's life would be spared. And so it was, the neighboring monarch granted Arthur his freedom and Lancelot and the witch had a wonderful wedding. The honeymoon hour approached and Lancelot, steeling himself for a horrific experience, entered the bedroom. But what a sight awaited him. The most beautiful woman he had ever seen lay before him on the bed. The astounded Lancelot asked what had happened. The beauty replied that since he had been so kind to her when she appeared as a witch, she would henceforth be her horrible deformed self only half the time and the beautiful maiden the other half. Which would he prefer? Would he prefer a beautiful woman in the day or at night? Lancelot pondered the predicament. Would he prefer a beautiful woman to show off to his friends in the day but at night? in the privacy of his castle, an old witch? Or would he prefer having a hideous witch during the day, but by night, a beautiful woman for him to enjoy wondrous intimate moments? What would you do? Noble Lancelot said that he would allow her to make the choice herself. Upon hearing this, she announced that she would be beautiful all the time because he had respected her enough to let her be in charge of her own life. Now, what is the moral to this story? The moral is, if you don't let a woman have her own way, things are going to get ugly. Let a woman have her way and you would be better for it. Approaching her. You probably have a woman in mind that you want to woo, or maybe you don't and you just bump into a woman and you are instantly attracted to her. The first thing you would want to do is to have a conversation with her. I have noticed that most men find it difficult to approach a woman and initiate conversations with them. Initiating conversation with a woman is a big challenge for most men. Some are unsure of how to do this in a respectful manner without sounding rude to the woman. Some can hold their own once the ball starts rolling. Some cannot converse with a woman at all because they are too shy or timid, while some find it hard to communicate at a casual level with other people, men and women inclusive, but feel very comfortable talking about topics such as football, politics, science, religion, etc. The most important thing to keep in mind when approaching a woman is that first impressions are priceless and are established within the first 3 seconds after you introduce yourself. This means that there is no room for error, and you should also know that chatting up a lady is not like in the movies where you can just walk up to a girl and drop some cheesy one-liner. Then they are in your bed the next morning. Don't use pickup lines because they make the lady feel cheap and it destroys conversation. It's hard to think of what to say afterward. Instead, start with innocent small talk, and you will have a base to build an interesting conversation on. A trick that never fails to work is to focus all your attention and energy of the creature before you and behave as if nothing else exists in the world. Focus on what the woman needs and not what you need. For instance, women are a creature of drama and will prefer a soap opera to a sport game. Women sense and are turned off by insecurity, so make sure you look and act confident. Groom, dress, move, and pursue like a man who is secure with women and with himself. Be yourself, don't fake it. Start by first talking and later making friends with the person you think is special. Most people don't like to jump straight into a relationship, especially girls. Find a reason to talk to the person. Make sure that they want to talk to you. Just talk about something that keeps the conversation going. Be yourself and don't lie just to get to a special person's heart. If they find out later and you're in the middle of a deep relationship or maybe a time when you really need that person, they will leave for good. Let the person know that you like them. Beyond the cheesy sending a note through a friend, talk to them about something you both have in common. If you are meeting the woman for the first time, strike a conversation with her and let her know that you admire her and would want to know her better. Introduce yourself and ask her for her name and number. If she is interested in you, she would ask for your number. If she doesn't, don't despair. She might be the shy type or the type that believes it is a man's duty to do the chasing. Tell her that you would call her, but don't tell when. Make sure you call her as promised her and ask her for a date. If after the first date, 2 dates, what you expected was not what you got, or you find out she is not the kind of woman you would want to have a permanent relationship with, let her know that you could just be friends or break it off. Don't toy with her feelings. Because if you go on a date with a woman more than twice, she concludes that you are having a permanent relationship with her. If you have known her for long, maybe you have been friends for some time and you just realize that you want more than friendship, let her know the level you want your friendship to get to. Don't nurse your feelings for her in secret or assume that she wants the same thing. She might be romantically involved with somebody already, or she might not want more than friendship with you. Probably she wants you too, but does not want to cross the boundary of friendship. Talk with her. Tell her how you feel. Act fast before someone beats you to it. Don't be like these two, Timothy and Veronica. Timothy and Veronica grew up together. They went to school together and were very good friends. As they grew older, Tim realized that he was romantically in love with Veronica and assumed that Veronica knew how he felt. He never told her. He did everything a man does for his lover. For Veronica, he was always the first to call her on her birthday. He bought her gifts on her birthdays, Valentine's Day, on every occasion that gifts are exchanged, and even when gifts are not exchanged. He took her out on dates. They went to the movies, games together, and with friends. They were always paired together by their friends. She was the first person he talks to about things that were bothering him and decisions that he wants to take. They were closer than some married couples. Veronica was in love with Timothy as well, but she is the kind that believes that a man has to make the first move to initiate a relationship. She was secretly praying for Timothy to say the word, but Tim never said anything, because he assumed they were already dating. Veronica's clock was ticking. She wanted to get married, but she was turning down all the men that were coming because she was waiting for Timothy to say the word. When she was 29, she was sent abroad by the company she works in for a 6 months training. Whilst there, she was still in touch with Tim, exchanging gifts with him, communicating with him daily. She was still expecting him to say the word, but he never did. Then she met another man, Gabe, at a mall. She liked him a lot, but she was not in love with him. He asked her out for a date. A month after their first date, he popped the question that Veronica has been waiting for Tim to ask for some time. Will you marry me? Veronica was surprised, but she asked him to give some time to think. She was confused because here is Timothy, whom she loves and has known all her life, but he has never told her that he loves her or told her that he wanted more than friendship from her. And here is Gabe that she likes very much and has known for only a short time is asking her for marriage. What should do? She asked herself. She has to get married and she can no longer wait for Tim because she does not know how he feels about her. So she said yes to Gabe and they got married after 2 months. When Tim heard about the marriage, he was very angry and he called her all sorts of names. But she told him that he never told her how he felt. Now, what is the moral to this story? The moral is, if you love a woman, let her know immediately. Act fast. Wooing her. Wooing a woman takes planning and strategies, as you have known. But planning and strategy has to be within your means. You don't have to break a bank because you want to woo a woman. If she expects you to break a bank before you can get her or make her happy, then she is not worth your time, effort, and money. There are many good women out there. Leave her. It actually takes little things applied correctly to make most good women happy. Follow these strategies and you would never go wrong. Dates. Going out on dates is actually a must in every relationship, whether you have been married for 50 years or just starting. Our focus is really on the man that has just met a woman he is interested in and a man that has just indicated his interest in a woman he has known for some time. Though a married man can still use any or all of these ideas to woo his wife because the wooing never really stops. When planning a date, men often think that there are certain things that they should and should not do. Women are individuals, though, and what turns one woman on may be very off-putting and aversive to another. By following a few simple guidelines, you can make sure that the wooing goes smoothly and happily for both of you. A word of warning. If you are on a budget, decide on how much you want to spend and stick to it. Decide on an affordable activity and location. Decide on an affordable place to dine out, or you can as well have a picnic in the middle of your living room, with a nice bottle of wine, candles, and the music of your choice can even do the trick if you play the game well. Take her on a planned date, to dinner at a place where she has mentioned that she likes, or on a surprise date to a good place you have tried and you think she would like. You can invite her over to your place for dinner or Sunday brunch. Make it special by preparing something you think she would like or something she has mentioned that she likes. Take her to watch movies if she likes movies. If she likes sports, you can go and watch a sporting event together. Take her to the Olympics, just kidding. You can go on a drive together to a predetermined spot. Serenade her sometimes by singing a love song outside her window. Go to a coffee house and read poetry to each other. Call your local radio station and make a request for her favorite song or any love song to be played and make sure she is listening, by first sending a text message to her asking her to listen to the particular radio station at the said time. Enjoy the outdoors. Picnic in your local park or at your local beach. Host a candlelight dinner in your own backyard, patio, or terrace. Use the stars as your backdrop and candles to create intimacy. You can watch the sun go down or the moon come up together. You can also visit the museum or national park together. It is exciting to try new things, but don't go too far outside of either of your comfort zones. It doesn't really matter how much money you spend or how gallant you are. In the end, it's a man's sensitivity and compatibility which really impresses a woman. Gifts. Giving gifts is a good way of showing your woman that you appreciate her, because that is what she really wants from you. When buying her gifts, put some thought to it. Don't only give her gifts on her birthdays, Valentine's Day, and on other known holidays. Surprise her with a gift from time to time. Buy her things that she likes. It might just be something she mentioned that she likes during the course of your conversation. Something you feel would make her smile. It is not the cost of the gift that matters to her, but the fact that you thought of her and that made you to buy something for her. It can be something as simple as her favorite flower, candy, chocolates, bath goodies, or pricey gifts like jewelries. Something you are able to afford. Take the time to wrap the gift and get a card. This seems silly. Of course, a gift is just as good if it isn't wrapped. However, giving a wrapped gift and a sentimental card will make her feel even more like a queen to you. You can even give her pampering gifts like manicure/pedicure gift certificate or massage products or gift certificates. Let her know you are thinking of her. Give her something special, not generic. Communication. This is a very important tool in a relationship. Make out time to communicate with her. Call her when you promise to call. Call her when she does not expect you to call. Send her romantic text messages, and if you are a good writer, write romantic poems. Be attentive, listen to her. Don't always do the talking. Learn to listen to her. Make the effort to sit down across from her after a long day to discuss work, friends, and your relationship. Don't force the topic toward the relationship. Concentrate on her. Do not only look at her, focus on her. Her eyes, her body language, and her voice. Let her know that she has your undivided attention. Notice when she is happy and when she is sad. Try to make her happy. Let her know at all times that you care her. Communication is how we get to know each other. The ability to listen is a great tool, and in case you're wondering, no, it's not the same thing as hearing. If you're out on a date and getting your lady to open up is like pulling teeth, ask her about her interests and things you know she's passionate about. She might just need that little push to get going, and if talking about her passion for photography is what is the trick, just make sure you're all ears. By being an attentive listener, it'll encourage her to open up and chat away, and she'll gain your trust. And if you prove that you're listening, getting her to be quiet might become your next problem. Be sensitive. A little bit of generosity goes a long way. This doesn't necessarily mean monetary generosity. Perhaps your woman has been having financial problems, or perhaps she's been having difficulty with a relative or her boss. If you lend a compassionate ear, she will come away with a good impression of you and the date you had together. Listening is a skill many men have difficulty with, but it is one of the most important skills any man can possess. If her openness makes you feel uncomfortable, just nod and smile. Try to find areas where you have something in common. Chivalry. Be considerate. Always show kindness and courteousness towards her. Open the car door for her. Offer to drive her and drive safely so as not to frighten her. Always pay for the first date. Be punctual when picking her up. Be kind to waiters and cab drivers. Women appreciate a man who is respectful, as it says a lot about how he will treat her and whether or not he respects women in general. Some people find this practice outdated. Be awesome at anything. If you are smart, show it off. If you are funny, make her laugh, or if you are good at sports, give a demonstration. Let her know how you are different. Pay compliments. Pay attention to positive traits, features, and character about her. It does not have to be complex. It may even be simply letting her know that you love the way she is dressed or her hair is styled. Tell her things like, "You have such beautiful smile." State your compliments by looking her straight in the eye. This emphasizes the sincerity of your compliments. Body compliments should be avoided in the initial stage of your interaction, but compliment on her later and always in the relationship. Compliment her on her brains, jokes, and talents, and be very sincere in your compliments. Conclusion. Never compromise your morals. If the person you are interested in is not interested in you, then you should move on. Some people are very polite and you may not realize immediately that they aren't interested. But, given time, it should become apparent. In the meantime, take it slow, and even if you are head over heels, don't reveal this right away, at least until you are sure they are genuinely interested in you too, or they could use your attraction to their benefit. Usually it is best to reveal one's feelings step by step, not much more nor much less than the other has revealed. However, people have very different ways for showing that they are or are not interested, so do not break up or step it up without talking things through as to where you're both headed. If you feel like you need time to decide, do not hesitate to talk. Never be forceful. If you ever pressure her to do something she doesn't feel comfortable doing, she won't be shy to say goodbye. Forcing her to do what she doesn't want to do is rude. Try to continue doing your normal routine with them in mind, rather than changing your whole life around them. Hopefully they will want to have a relationship with you, not a clone of themselves or a tag-along. The most important thing in dating is to be conscious of your date's feelings and reactions. If she's a high-powered lawyer or a free-thinking intellectual, she may feel that your chivalry is an attempt to deprive her of her independence. However, if she's pleased that you're holding the door for her, keep up the gallantry. A lot of guys choose women who are arm candy, good-looking trophy girlfriends who bolster their status among other men or counteract their own insecurities. That's all well and good, but if you find a woman who makes you happy, regardless of looks, age, or social status, or what any other guy thinks, then you have definitely won at the mating game.